If your house has been sitting, I bet you've already had someone tell you it's the price. Your neighbor, your cousin who sold in 2021, maybe even your agent. So here's what I've noticed after watching hundreds of listings live or die in this market. And price is almost never the actual root cause. It is the symptom that shows up last after 4 other things have already gone wrong. Hi, I'm Jason Dalbey, team lead with the Denver group at Real Broker, and today I want to walk through what's actually killing stale listings right now, starting with a real one. All right, so picture a listing. This is a composite of several I've seen this year, so if it sounds familiar, that's why. It's priced right at the comps, it's clean, it's move-in ready, there's nothing wrong with it. 30 days in, barely any showings. The seller's first instinct and their agent's first instinct is to cut the price. So they cut it, but showings barely move. And now the seller's anxious, the equity is shrinking, and everyone's more confused than when they started. The price really was never the problem. The house was invisible before a buyer ever got the chance to weigh in on the price. And that's the pattern I want to unpack. Because if you cut price on a visibility problem, you just sold your house for less money to solve a problem you really didn't actually have. So the first check really isn't, is it priced right? It's, did the buyers ever see it? And over 90% of buyers are scrolling online before they ever call an agent. If the photos are dark, wide angle is distorted, or there's no video walkthrough, the algorithm and the buyer both just scroll past it before price ever enters the conversation. You can't discover a pricing problem in a listing that nobody looked at. And this is the one sellers almost never get told, because nobody ever calls you to tell you that your photos were bad. They just don't click on your listing. The fix though is new primary photos, even just reordering which shots leads and swapping in a stronger hero image. This can reset how the listing shows up in a buyer's saved search feed. Add a video walkthrough if there isn't one. And if visibility has been this bad for weeks, sometimes the right move is a full refresh to pull the listing and relist it so it shows as new again to buyers and agents who already passed on it the first time around. Reason number 2, it was hard to get into. How many buyers agents skipped it because it was a pain to show? Restrictive lockbox hours, 24-hour notice requirements, awkward pet logistics. In a market where buyers are touring 8 to 10 homes in a weekend, the friction-free listings get seen first. The hard to access ones get quietly dropped off the tour, and the seller never finds out that's what happened. Again, this looks identical to a pricing problem from the outside, but it isn't one. The fix is to loosen the showing window, same day or 2-hour notice instead of 24 hours, wider daily availability, a lockbox instead of an agent accompanied only requirement if that's on the table. Every restriction is a reason buyer's agent picks the easier house down the street instead. And this is usually a 5-minute conversation to fix and not a price cut. All right, reason number 3, for the buyers who did get in the door, what did the first 90 seconds tell them? These are the first impressions of the home. This isn't about needing a full renovation. Buyers can see past a dated kitchen. It's about things that read as risk, deferred maintenance, a roof that looks overdue, clutter that makes the space feel smaller than it is. Buyers mentally price in every visible flaw as a future cost, usually at a steeper discount than the fix would actually cost. And that shows up later as a lowball offer or no offer and gets misdiagnosed as a price problem too. The fix is not necessarily a renovation, although that can help, but a punch list. So fresh touch-up paint on scuffed walls, a professional deep clean, decluttering to open up the space and addressing the 1 or 2 things buyer's eye goes straight to. Small specific fixes that remove the "what else is wrong here" reaction, not a full remodel. All right, 4th, and only after checking the first 3, is the listing actually being managed? Is someone pulling real showing feedback, tracking days on market against the neighborhood average, and adjusting before 30 days quietly becomes 60? A listing that just sits there with no feedback loop isn't a pricing failure, it's a strategy failure. And the fix, this is where active management earns its keep. Pull actual showing feedback instead of guessing. Rotate and refresh photos so the listing looks different to algorithms and repeat browsers. And when it's been stale long enough, a strategic reset, briefly withdrawing or possibly relisting, sometimes even relisting through a different MLS, can put it back in front of buyers as a new listing instead of one they've already scrolled past for weeks. Please note there are some caveats to that. Sometimes you have to stay off for a certain number of days. If you have questions, we can answer those for you. So where does price actually belong on this list? Well, last, as the final check, after visibility, access, condition, and managing the listing have already been rolled out. If all four of those are solid and it's still sitting, then yes, the market is telling you something about price. But cutting price first before checking the other three is how sellers give away money solving the wrong problem. We often tell sellers that the double-digit showing is a telltale sign. So once you get to 10, 12, 15 showings without any offer, it's likely a pricing issue. So before anyone tells you to cut your price, check if buyers can actually see the listing. Check if it's easy to get into. Check what the first 90 seconds tell you, and check whether anyone is actually managing the strategy. Price is very real. It's just rarely reason number one that your house is sitting. If your home's been sitting and you want a second opinion, if you're thinking about selling in the near future and you want to be wary of these, please let us know. Our team, the Denver Group, would love to walk you through this. My name is Jason Dalbey. I'm team lead with the Denver Group, and we talk with sellers every single week about these strategies. If you're still deciding whether to sell at all in this market, we've got a full breakdown on that as well, and the link will be in the screen. Let us know how we can help. Again, I'm Jason, team lead with the Denver Group. We want to be your resource and guide for all things Denver real estate. Thanks.